Hello guys, this is the Fine Fellow and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about the difficulty curve in WoW and Siege of Orgrimmar. Yeah, Siege of Orgrimmar. How exciting that instance is for everyone. I'm sure if you're anything like me, you've run the raid in LFR multiple times on multiple characters to get your gear. Then you've moved to flex mode, running that as many times as you can in a week if groups are going on in your guild even anymore. And then from there onto a normal mode week after week after week to get the gear that you need. And maybe if you're lucky enough, you've got your ahead of the curve Garrosh achievement on normal. Yeah, good for you if you have. I got mine about 3 weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago. And the mace dropped, the spellcaster mace, which is awesome for my shaman. I'm using that as my main weapon. Great. What next? Are we done? Is the expansion done? Is there nothing to do for the next six months? Well, if you look at the design, where Blizzard have put their time and effort in, you can see that there is more to do. There's more versions of Siege of Orgrimmar out there in the world. But the problem is that there is very little incentive, if any, to do it. And you can see this just by looking at the statistics of guilds that have downed Garrosh in various modes. And you can see that people are still getting Garrosh 25 heroic kills now that are realm firsts. It's not like the top guilds in your realm have done it for sure, and now it's just the secondary guilds mopping it up. No, people are still getting realm firsts. Now, on my realm, I don't think that a realm first has been picked up for that at all. I don't think anybody in my realm has done Garrosh 25 normal, heroic, and maybe even normal. There aren't any 25-man guilds on the realm at the moment, so I don't see how one might. Maybe somebody, maybe some guilds banded together and did it, but I don't think so. I don't think it's been done. There simply isn't enough incentive, and in fact there's counter-incentive to do it because of how much Siege of Orgrimmar we have had to do up until now. The gear progression in the game right now is boring. A boring grind. And that really sums up a vast majority of the game, which is what really this video is about. Why does such a large portion of the game need to be so boring? What, the leveling process is boring? The dungeons are boring? They look great, but there's no difficulty there. This is supposed to be a game, and that implies that we're challenged in some way, and we feel like we've overcome that challenge and achieved something. That's something that's inherent to any kind of game, but is really lacking in World of Warcraft before, I'd say, flex raiding for the majority of people. That's when the challenge begins. That's the first time you have to be organized and learn about a fight. Essentially, somebody might have to explain the fight to you. But everything before that is kind of just dead time. It's just being in the world. And it's nice that there's world building and stuff going on there, but why is there no difficulty inherent in World of Warcraft? And if there isn't, is there really any point in there being so much grinding time? The way I always like to think of this is, what if I wanted to sell World of Warcraft to my friend today and give them the sales pitch and say, okay, this is a great game, and this is what it's like, and this is what you'll be doing. It's pretty tough to say to someone, oh yeah, there's Garrosh Hellscream and there's all this like cool stuff and siege weapons that you can kill, but by the way, can you play the game for 50 to 100 hours before you can see that? Now that's fine if there's some reason for them to play, like there's a lot of exciting stuff going on there, but there kind of isn't. There kind of isn't. It's a lot like saying, you know, there's there's a rainbow at the end of the storm, if you see what I mean, the rainstorm. Yeah, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but you still have to slog through all this long, boring stuff that provides no challenge. And that is difficult to sell to someone. It's pretty difficult to say, by the way, please waste the next sort of 50 to 70 hours just doing this easy content just to get to the end to see the exciting stuff. Because firstly, it sounds like a big time investment if you don't know about WoW, if you don't know if you really want to play it. And secondly, by the time you get there, you might find that you don't actually like it, or you don't actually like your class, or something like that. So that's my thoughts on the difficulty curve in World of Warcraft. I found this one pretty difficult to get out, I think partly because I've made these complaints before, but slightly differently, and maybe addressing slightly different aspects of the game. And also because, even though I can see the problem with it, I can't really see any clear solution. I think Blizzard will have to go through... They'll have to look at the number of people participating in raid content, and particularly how focused the number of people is, how many people are participating in low-end raid content but not high-end raid content, and start thinking to themselves, okay, we either need to incentivize people to go into this high-end stuff, or we need to just stop doing it. There's a whole final end bit of Siege of Orgrimmar where you go into Stormwind, and you can pretty much guarantee that like less than 1,000 people worldwide have actually seen that stuff. So that kind of is a waste of effort on their part in terms of how many people are seeing the content. And it's a waste of effort if people don't feel like they've missed out by not seeing it as well. Because if people can be enticed to play and enjoy themselves based on the idea that they might be able to, that there's something to strive for, then that is meaningful, even though people might not see it for themselves. But if they don't feel enticed or excited to see that content, which I think people aren't feeling, then I think that is wasted development time and wasted potential for the game. Thanks, as always, thanks very much for listening. This has been the Fired Fellow. Goodbye.